Hello there, this is the summary of Chapter 1, the reaction responsible of the release of stored energy in organic matter by the cell. Catabolic pathways. Cellular respiration and fermentation produce energy so it can be used by cells. Any chemical process that produces energy is called a catabolic pathway. Organic molecules contain potential energy. This energy is stored in organic molecules. These molecules, often sugars like glucose, when used by cells to release energy, it will be called metabolite. Cellular respiration and fermentation break these molecules and convert the potential energy of organic molecule into chemical energy for cells to work. ATP. Adenosine triphosphate, commonly referred to as ATP, is a chemical energy molecule that can be produced through catabolic pathways, spread around cells so it can be broken down to produce energy into ADP and a phosphate molecule. Steps of cellular respiration. Glycolysis. Glycolysis is a metabolic pathway that occurs in the cytosol of the cell and splits glucose into two other molecules called pyruvates. Splitting glucose costs the cell 2 ATP, but it gains 4 ATP and releases 2 NADH. As a reminder, cells need to invest energy to make energy. Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle. All aerobic organisms take the process 2 steps further. They take those 2 pyruvate molecules and break them down in a bit further in Krebs cycle. In eukaryotes, the Krebs cycle occurs in the matrix of the mitochondrion. The main aim of Krebs cycle is to produce high energy electron carrier, RH2, which will be used in the final step. ETC, electron transport chain. ETC couples electron transfer between an electron donor, such as NADH, and an electron acceptor, such as O2, with the transfer of H+ ion across a membrane. The resulting electrochemical proton gradient is used to generate chemical energy in form of ATP. At the mitochondrial inner membrane, electrons from NADH and FADH pass through the electron transport chain to oxygen, which will be reduced to water. Fermentation, a 2-step process. As I said earlier, fermentation is an incomplete oxidation of glucose. As a result, cells obtain less ATP from glucose because it makes another organic compound, either lactic acid in case of lactic fermentation, or ethanol with carbon dioxide in alcoholic fermentation. So, these organic compounds still retain some potential energy. Therefore, it explains the incomplete oxidation of glucose. The first steps of fermentation consist in glycolysis, but due to the lack of final electron acceptor in cytosol, the high energy electron carrier produced in glycolysis need to get oxidized to avoid any damage to the cell. This second step is called NAD regeneration or NAD regen. Energy yield and energy efficiency. As a rule of thumb, cellular respiration produces more ATP than fermentation, therefore is deemed more energy efficient. However, cellular respiration takes more time to produce this energy than fermentation, which is fast. So each catabolic pathway has its use for the cell. Hope you appreciate this summary. Like and share and comment. This was Taha Atani. See you soon.